Hello there, my name is Davis and welcome back to the Real Valladolid Career Mode series. We're kicking things off straight away this season, very first episode of Season 4, do or die time for us, and we're kicking off with a brand new signing. I mentioned him, I highlighted him as a player I wanted to get in at the end of the last episode when we took a quick look at potential targets this season, and that man is David Neres of Ajax. He only had like a 31 million release clause, I think, and we were able to snap him straight up and get him straight into the team. Unfortunately, it is the World Cup on at the moment, so most of my players currently still at the World Cup during our pre-season tournament, which we did indeed accept the invite for this time. Last season that we didn't accept it. We lost out on a bit of money then, so we've gone for it this time. But unfortunately, we couldn't really play with our first team. We had a strong defense, but it wasn't good enough to take on Flamengo, and unfortunately, we go down 1-0 losers to them. As we make our way through the pre-season, coming into a game against one of the Argentinian teams, I think now. Can't remember the name of them, but a couple of changes here and there. I was expected to beat these pretty comfortably, so we played a second string defence, and we do manage to get a 3-0 win over them in the pre-season first win on the board, sitting second in the league currently. As I have a quick look through the free agents, you never know what you could find. There was a couple of decent looking players, but none that I don't think could seriously improve the team, especially with just the 1 year remaining on the challenge. So didn't really find anything good there. After that, I did have a fiddle about with the tactics of the squad. I played a 4-1-2-1-2 narrow last season. I wanted to change it up. I wanted to include not necessarily white wingers, but more wide men, but still kind of keep the two strikers up top in Renier and Jonathan David. And to be honest, in the end, I more or less ended up creating a 4-2-2, which is most likely what we're gonna play with this season. I think it gives a good balance to our team, considering the players that we've got. And we move on into the game against Borussia Mönchengladbach. As you can see, most players still away from the squad, still at the World Cup. So we had to go in with more or less a second string side. As I go back into the transfer windows, looking for maybe a potential new buy. Gabriel Martinelli from Arsenal. I was considering, along with Ansu Fati of Barcelona. Both of them young for a start, very fast, very quick, and very good potential. I was hoping to take a look at a couple of them, see if they could become new additions to the side as we adjust the side and go into the game against Mönchengladbach, which we unfortunately do lose 2-1, which means we take an early exit from the Champions Trophy, pre-season trophy. We get like 1.5 million from it, which is better than nothing, I guess. But that was it for our pre-season. Over very, very quickly. And it allowed me to focus more time on smaller jobs, such as what's going on now in the background, in sorting out player contracts and roles, and renewing contracts, keeping people happy here and there. Hopefully, I could convince players to take lower squad roles so they wouldn't get as unhappy as they have been. Especially last season, there was quite a few players who wanted to start, but there was just better players in front of them, and I just kind of wanted to get that sorted out of the way, and that was that. Takes us nicely onto our second signing of the window, in that it was Thiago Almada, a youngster from Argentina, 21 years of age, centre attacking midfielder, can also play left wing. Incredibly quick, incredibly fast. It was between him or the lad from Anderlecht, Jari Verschlaken or something like that. I can't remember his name. It's a long old name to try and pronounce. And we ended up deciding to go with Almada. He had the release clause of, I think, 21, 22 million, which allowed us to skip the negotiations for that and go straight into contract negotiations with the player. And I was happy to get him in, and he was more than happy to take a rotational squad role, which is brilliant for us because it means he's not going to complain as much if we don't start him for a couple of games, especially with players like James Rodriguez playing in the similar role, and Orellana, another one of our players currently in that situation. And that was that. 2 signings so far for the summer, and takes us into our next game against our first game of the season against Levante, which we shall get into now. It's a tough game to start with, coming up against Levante. I was expecting a tough game. I was hoping that we'd hit the ground running in this first one, trying to get some decent. Like last year, we started like a 5-0, something like that, which started us off nicely. But it ended up being quite a tricky game, to be fair. First one in. It took all the way until the 72nd minute for us to get the first goal, courtesy of a rare one from Ethan Ampadu off the bench, making a marauding run through the centre of the pitch and smashes it past the keeper. I don't think he got many last. I don't think he got any last year. I think he got a couple of assists, but first game of the season, in our penultimate final season, and he manages to get one for himself. It might even be the first one for the club. And then finally, 2 minutes to go, keeper plays her out. Nice, well-held run by our new signing Almada. Cuts in on the right. Nice finesse shot, good save by the keeper, and David Neres is there to clean up the spill. He heads it home and gets his debut goal on it, his first goal on his debut, which is very, very nice to see, in the right place at the right time. And he is off the mark in the league and for us, which is very, very nice, and sealed a 2-0 victory for Valladolid. Nice way to start at home in front of the fans with a nice big 3 points. And that takes us into the second game against Espanyol. Won a game. Espanyol usually do give me a game, but to say this game was a headache is an absolute understatement. As you see here, I'm showing you the pre-match teams, players walking out onto the pitch, but that is all the in-game footage you will get. All the rest of it comes courtesy of the highlights at the end of the match, where the game ends 0-0, and their keeper has an absolute stormer, / my players are having an absolute nightmare with their finishing skills. So many chances just did not taken. Going to loads of opportunities, one-on-ones, finesse shots from 12, 15 yards out I'd expect to score. Low dribblings, it's just not happening. Great save there from the keeper, one-on-one with Jonathan David. You should be burying that, really. Maybe I should be aiming for the near post rather than across the keeper, but I do finally get the ball in the back of the net. I thought that was it, but the rebound comes off an offside Renier, and the goal is eventually disallowed. Very, very frustrating day at the office. And last highlight, Renier one-on-one on the volley would have been a spectacular goal. Lovely little worked move, but the keeper's equal to that as well. And we end up, second game of the season, drawing 0-0. And that finally catches the highlights of what I've done up to present day. I didn't go any further than the Barcelona match, third game of the season, and we've got to play Barcelona at home. Nice to get out of the way early, and a big chance to peg Barcelona back a little bit after thumping us last game of the season last season. 3-0 victory, 3-0 loss for us, 3-0 victory for them last time out. And we need to avenge ourselves, really, for that 0-0. A game that we should be winning. We should be up there on 6 points alongside Barcelona. But unfortunately, it wasn't to be. But this is the current standings. 3 games gone for most teams. Valencia top the table, full house, alongside Atletico Madrid. 3 out of 3 for them, 2 teams. Villarreal, Sociedad, 2 wins and a draw. So if we get a win here, we can go level with them. Obviously, if Barcelona win, they go level with Valencia and Atletico. And that's about it. So a chance for me to show you all the a little bit more in depth currently of what we've set up like this season. 4-2-2. We were 4-1-2-2 narrow last season, so we've stretched the team out a little bit more. The usual suspects up top: Jonathan David, Renier, mainstay striker partnership at the moment, as we are. New signing David Neres at right attacking mid. Can play right wing or centre attacking mid, so that's almost perfect for him there. Currently got James Rodriguez there at the moment at left attacking mid, but with the strength and depth that we've got, I can play Almada there. Even Orellana has played there already this season. Kubo can play anywhere across the front 3, across the front 4 really. Along with, I imagine Bratberg could probably do a job there, but I'd rather him up front, if anywhere. And Nkanku and Sumare, they are currently holding midfielders. Nkanku has more. I wanted to actually change that to make sure Nkanku has got the freedom to go forward, whereas Sumare to stay back, cover the centre for both of them. And that's about it. That's the only real changes I'll be making in terms of actual tactics. I don't want to change it up too much. I'm happy with how they're playing at the moment. Obviously, if we have more games like that Espanyol one, where we're getting in the right positions, I mean, it's not down to the tactics. That's not. If we get into the positions, we're doing something right, and maybe it's down to the players. I'm gonna start with Almada this time. So we got 2 brand new signings on the bench in the first 11 going into this big Barcelona game. Hopefully we can get a scalp here. Right, time to kick our season off. We've dropped points already, drawing against Espanyol, and I mean, going off last season's top 2 between Atletico and Barcelona. We can't be dropping points early on in the season. I think Atletico lost 2 all season, maybe drew 4, something like that. So just like poor slip ups like that just can't be happening, and we need to win big games this season. Too many times in the league we floundered, and it didn't work out. But it was time to change that around. We had a good cup run last year. We're not focused on the cup now this year. We can say goodbye to that this year. Assuming if we get a tough draw, if we get an easy draw, then obviously I'd be expecting to win those games. But the league is my 100% focus this season, and we are gonna go for it. It's not an ideal start. Ousmane Dembele again. He gives me absolute nightmares, this lad. He scored a brace against me last time out. He's already scored here. Was that Upamecano's got dragged out way out wide. Massive gap into midfield. That's awful defending from me. Very, very bad. And 8 minutes gone with 1-0 down. Good ball. And Kanku's found space. That's a great finish. That's what we want. Don't know what he's doing there, mind, further up the field than the strikers. But when you can finish like that, you can do what you want. Finds the space, just drifts away from his man, 1-on-1. Pick that out. Thank you very much. We're back in the game. Jonathan David making the break-in run. Chance to go 2-1 up. That's a strike. Come on. Turned it around. 20 minutes gone. That's how we like to see. Using that pace once again. Big touch, opens the body out. Not finessing that one this time. Powers it past Ter Stegen. And we've turned this game around. Frankie de Jong, another that gives us problems and sets up the goal for I don't even know who this lad is, this Bora lad, but he's top goal scorer in the league already. He's got another goal onto his to add to his tally today. Too easy once again. Cucurella comes in from the left. Frankie de Jong just finds way too much room. Diego Carlos got to be stronger there. That's poor defending really. And just on the edge of half time, they get a goal back to make it all square. Renier's got a chance. Todibo. That's a strike. Oh, 3 brilliant strikes from us this game already. It's only half time, but fantastic replay. Renier and Jonathan David getting their first goals of the season this game. Just can't quite get away from Todibo, so stop and turn. Just creates the space for himself. And that's a fantastic finesse shot. Keeper's nowhere near that. And we go into the break 3-2 up. What a game this is, first half. Come on, Raf, blow up. Thank you very much. So certainly one for the neutrals. 3-5 goals at the first half. Thankfully, we're the ones leading. Team happy with her at the moment. Diego Carlos could have been stronger for their second goal, to be honest. I haven't really seen much of Almada or David Neres. That was my problem with the wide men in the first season. They just kind of seem to go a bit missing sometimes in the games, but as long as we're winning, I can't complain, to be honest, and hopefully we can continue this in the second half. Almada finds Jonathan David. Poor touch. Just gives the defender the chance to sneak back in there. A better touch would have opened the space up for him to either run into or take a shot. We'd had plenty of options there. But we are looking dangerous still. Jonathan David takes his time with that one. 4-2, and that should be as comfortable now. I say it with a pinch of salt because never really comfortable against Barcelona, but their defense has been very, very poor this game compared to previous seasons. Longley, 90 rated centre back, should be commanding that back four, but Todibo's having a bit of a nightmare. Been playing on him, and thankfully it's worked out pretty well, to be honest. I think the keeper just gets a glove on that. Someone was going for the bicey, and Bora was there for the header as well, so I was lucky that I did get in there. Jonathan David's pinched it, set Renier free. Don't know if he's got the pace to get away from Souček. Comes diving in, easy as that. A little Berber spin, just falls into the defender really. Could even be a red card there. It is indeed. Thomas Souček sent off and given a penalty away. Not a good day at the office for him. And our man, Jonathan David, on the penalties. Penalty taker, chance for his hat-trick. Top right-hand corner where he usually goes. And Ter Stegen falls the wrong way. 5-2, absolute demolition job of Barcelona going on here. Jonathan David carrying on his class form from last year, gets a hat-trick against the European champions. And with that, I think it is time for some substitutes. Jonathan David can come out of rest, hat-trick, done and dusted, can make way for Bratberg. Oriana can come on for David Neres, and James Rodriguez can make way for, say, Christopher Nkunku. He can play as a deep lying playmaker for us, and keep Almada on for his full debut. It's good football. Bratberg and Renier. Renier's got the pace, I think, to get it past. Emphatic finish as well. And I went with this formation specifically attacking purposes. Last season a little bit reserved, but I know we didn't even score a goal last game out against Espanyol, but the amount of chances that we did have would warrant the amount of goals that we've scored in this game. Quique Setien, not currently the Barcelona manager anymore. Ronald Koeman is now, of course, the Dutchman, but he is having an absolute nightmare, and his lads are getting absolutely battered out here at our home pitch. 6-2. Take a bit of gloss off the result. Oscar, it is formerly of Chelsea and the Chinese league, just gets a goal to cover over the cracks a little bit. Last couple of minutes, takes it very well, to be fair. Pocano doesn't get across in time, and 90th minute, Barcelona have one back. 6-3 will probably be the final score. Unfortunately, we couldn't keep it to a four goal difference. Unless we can get a goal here, we can't. Orellana just runs offside, and after the free kick goes, it should be enough for the ref to blow up. There we are. Massive result for us. 6 goals against the mighty Barcelona. A total demolition job on the back-to-back European champions in this career mode anyway. But that is the response I wanted. Well. After a massive performance against Barcelona, 6-3 on the day, coming close to transfer deadline day, we have a big bombshell to decide upon. FC Sevilla, paying the 78 million release clause for Boubakary Soumare. I did only renew his contract earlier on when I done it with most of the other side, and I did put in the 78 million release clause because I thought it was something I'd be happy to let him go for, because that is an absolutely massive amount of money. Soumare, my very first sign-in, someone who I wasn't expecting on letting go, to be honest, but it's made me think. We did have a couple of offers for him. We had an offer off Barcelona for 51 million. Now, obviously, we rejected that, and Sevilla paying the 78 million. There's a lot of players we can get in for that. Probably even better players than Soumare with that money. Just a quick look through some of the other offers I've turned down. Renier offers for him 88 and 83 million of Real Madrid, of Atletico Madrid and Man United for him. Don't want to get rid of him though. He is our R9 for the target. Max Aaron's a lot of interest from big teams for him. Turned down offers as high as 49 million off Barca. Jesus Bustos offered 15 million off Chelsea for him. Ampadu, which was an interesting one because I was willing to let him go. I did try to negotiate with Man United for him, but I think I wanted about 25 million. They weren't willing to pay that, so transfer talks broke down. Jonathan David, a 50 million bid from Spurs coming for him. Rejected that straight away. He's way too good to be letting go for 50 million. Apa on loan and Cifuentes on loan as well, both rejected, and I've just accepted a loan offer for Juan Torres, a youngster who's probably not going to get into the team, so it'd be nice to see him go out on loan for the season. But We'll see how their talks get on, and it could be an interesting deadline day for us if Soumare does decide to go. We're gone, and there it is, fans. There it is, sports fans. The man been with us since the very beginning. We've grown him up to an 86 overall. And he has finally flown the nest, gone to Sevilla, and arguably a worse team, but obviously if they're offering the right kind of money for him, then who am I to say no? They are a rival of ours, so hopefully you can't do too well for him, but we wish him all the best, and we now have a war chest of 137 million to look for a unbelievable centre mid to replace him, but basically, I think the value might be not the problem. I think it might be more the wages of some of these players. Some of them in excess of like N'Golo Kante, 200,000. It's just not going to happen really. But I'm going to take a look around for some players and hopefully get back to you with a decent selection. Okay, so here I have got my short list of players, central defensive midfielders, and there are some interesting options I've gone for. Joshua Kimmich, probably the best central defensive midfielder on the game currently, in this career mode anyway. Up there with maybe Frankie de Jong, if you can consider him as a defensive midfielder, but he's more of a just natural centre mid. It would be a big purchase, probably the only unrealistic purchase of the career mode so far, which makes me a little bit hesitant, but I think we've built our team up to such a place that we can obviously afford him now. Including his wages, it'd just be whether he would want to take a step. It'd be an obvious step down from Champions League, German champions, to come over to play for us. We'd have to offer massive wages for him. Other options include, though, Konrad Lehmer from Hertha Berlin, 84 overall, decent centre defensive mid, similar positions to Joshua Kimmich. Just way less rated. Dennis Zakaria of Borussia Mönchengladbach. It's a mouthful. 86 rated, so it'd be a like-for-like swap with in terms of ratings for him. He's a fantastic big unit. Can play centre back, centre mid, or centre defensive mid. Fantastic defensive stats as well. Similar mould to Soumare basically. We also have Sandro Tonali, the next Pirlo. He's been dubbed. He's currently at Sevilla, so it'll just be a straight swap more or less for him. 84 rated there, 22 years old, fantastic player, huge potential. We have Douglas Luiz. Unfortunately, I don't know what currently he is overall, so I'm not going to take a punt on him probably, but I'll keep him on the short list for now. And Boubacar Kamara of Roma currently. Decent young player, 83 overall, potential to grow into something massive, but I think simply on the fact that it's our last season, we gotta go for the league. If we can convince Joshua Kimmich to come in, it'd be absolutely massive for the squad. Whether they'd want to let him go, they want between 85 and 120 million for Kimmich. So just gonna cross my fingers and we're gonna go for it. And we have done it, boys. Absolutely the biggest signing, bar none, of the whole career mode so far. 90 rated Joshua Kimmich in his absolute prime, 27 years old, off the German champions, Bundesliga champions. Bayern Munich. He joins the ranks of a Valladolid player. Very, very happy to have him on board. He took a wage cut. Well, I'd say wage cut. He had massive add-ons in terms of signing bonus, and once he reaches 20 appearances, I think he gets like 2 million. So a long-term wage cut, but short-term you'll get quite a fair bit from it. But that is a statement if I've ever heard one. Goes straight into the team alongside Nkanku, and he will be an absolute monster for us, I hope. Got big shoes to fill coming in for Sumari, but I'm more than confident that he'll be able to be a big time player in this squad. Very, very, very happy with that. First, like I said earlier, a little bit of an unrealistic transfer, but I need all the help I can get, really, coming into this last season. 5 hours left. Don't even think we have much left in terms of transfer budget. I got 20 million. Maybe I don't really know what to upgrade though. I could maybe look at left backs. That's the big part that's letting me down, if anything. I'll take a quick look around for that and get back to you. So not a lot of left backs to go through, really. Most of them are owned by one or two teams. One of the teams being Paris Saint-Germain. They've got a monopoly on left backs, it would seem. Alex Telles, formerly of Porto, being one of them. A couple of others, big names. Another team being Liverpool. I think they got Furlan Mendy. They still got Robertson, and they got two other left backs who are big talents. So them just owned by the one teams. But I did highlight these two. Theo Hernandez currently at Wolfsburg. Can't remember how they were getting on, Wolfsburg in Germany, but Alex Telles come to 29 now, especially with the depth that PSG have at left back. Be interested to see if I can try and pick him up for a little bit cheaper. I doubt it though, considering they're saying I need between 35 and 50. But we'll have a go. If that fails, I think I'm going to go for Theo Hernandez, fantastic left back, and better than Tavares, I imagine. Something to strengthen. The only real position left to strengthen in the side other than goalkeeper, but I don't want to get rid of Bustos. He's our part of our challenge, so don't really want to get rid of him. Okay, so we do manage to get Theo Hernandez. Tried first of all for Alex Telles, but PSG just wanted way too much money than we could afford. And we've more or less broke the bank to get the last player across the line in being Theo Hernandez. Big signing for us though, to be fair. There's a transfer offer. It does come in for Tavares, 26 million. Gonna turn it down for now. Don't need the money going into the next transfer window, but also a transfer offer for Upamecano of Ajax, 63 million. That's a lot of money coming in from them. But once again, going to reject that. Upamecano way too important to be getting rid of with 2 hours left on the transfer window. Don't think that's going to happen. But this is how we line up going into. I think the 2 hours left on the transfer window. We'll just finish that off now. And I'll go through the final team of the fourth season. A lot of the players gone on holiday, or gone on international break. Renier, Jonathan David up top, James Rodriguez and David Neres, but they are interchangeable. Plenty of others to come onto the bench, off the bench onto there, like Almada, Bratberg, Kubo, and a couple of others. Nkunku, and our main man Joshua Kimmich in centre defensive midfield. Theo Hernandez, Upamecano, Diego Carlos, and Max Aarons across the back four, and Jesus Bustos in goals. And that is a solid team, if I do say so myself. And that is where we're going to end it for this episode. Very, very busy first episode of season 4. I got a lot done. Got through all the way through the January transfer window, which we usually take a couple of episodes to get through that. But managed to power through that very quickly. Powered up our squad massively with a few big new additions. David Neres, Theo Hernandez, Almada, and that man Joshua Kimmich. The team is looking very, very stacked and capable of competing, I think, for the La Liga trophy. And we'll be able to test that out next episode, away to Real Madrid. Big chance to stamp our authority after a big win against Barcelona last time out. So that is that. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed, leave a like. If you haven't enjoyed, leave a dislike. Helps me regardless, either way. If you want to stay up to date with the series, anything else I do on the channel, you can always subscribe. That's no problem at all. I have been Davis. Thank you very much for watching, and good night.